we fact check. I don't know if anyone remembers from last episode a couple of weeks ago. We talked about how Brad Stevens came up with Carson Edwards starting and whatnot. And I knew I heard it somewhere about the simulation and whatnot. It was true. It's absurd. He literally runs simulations and clearly puts weight into it.
You had to bring that up, Evan. You had to bring that up.
That was true.
Yeah, I found the clip, and it was they based Carson Edwards starting against Phoenix that day off of a simulation that Brad Stevens ran. It's true. It was true.
Just because you do well in the video game doesn't mean you do well in real life. Those things don't correlate. 2K
in my
is
video
not
game,
real
I'm
life.
6'8" and can do a windmill dunk.
And yeah, in my career, I'm dropping 100 points a game. Listen, that's not real life.
After hearing that, I'm much closer to hitting the panic button. Like, I don't even know what to say.
It's awful. It's terrible.
And it's like it's almost let's because you wanted to talk about a couple guys here, Dante. We can start with Neesmith. Oh no, we'll start with Robert Williams because I think it's actually probably really easy to talk about. He must be a guy that just stinks in the simulation because when he goes out and plays, he is really good, and then he gets subbed out literally after making like play after play. It's not like what we've seen in the past where, okay, you get, and when I say the past, like maybe when he wasn't injured in years past, when he gets out there, he does a good thing, but then he really, really like messes up. Like something so stupid, dude. Like you're on the wrong side of the court. And then Brad Stevens takes him out. Robert Williams is coming out like last night after a putback dunk that was incredibly timely. And then it's like, oh yeah, Tristan Thompson, get back in there. And I'm like, I don't understand it.
Robert Williams is better than both Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice. I just want to make that very known right now. Against the Pelicans, Robert Williams played, I think it was, he played a good amount of minutes in the first half. He played 2 minutes. He played 6 minutes total in the second half, including overtime. 1 minute in the fourth quarter. He had that game. He had 8 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 blocks.
You know what's annoying about that? You talk about him playing in the second half there. It was all in the last. He barely played until the last minute of the fourth and then all of overtime.
Yeah. Did you see his block on Zion Williamson? He could have been doing that the entire fourth quarter.
Right.
So instead, we have Tristan Thompson getting bullied by Zion Williamson. Listen, Zion Williamson can bully anyone he wants, but at least Robert Williams can try and play defense on him. And we saw that game that he was, doing okay. He was holding his own. I just don't understand the logic. He goes, we're trying to conserve his minutes and getting him ready for later on the season for the playoffs. Brad, look, we might not make. Look where we are right now. We're almost out of the playoffs right now. What are you waiting so he can? What are you waiting for? You play your best players no matter what the situation is. Robert Williams isn't hurt. He's not dealing with anything as far as we know. As far as the public
they talked
knows.
about that hip like a couple weeks ago, but then I'm on your
He
team
looks
here
fine.
saying, like, tell me it's the hip then. Tell me that he has a hurt hip and that's why he's not playing.
Yeah,
Tell
like
us
you can't just say these things like, oh, he's playing very well, this and that, and then you don't play him. You play your best players. Like we've said this about Pritchard, Robert Williams, and Neesmith should be the 3 guys off the bench. They've been playing very well lately. Like those guys I trust coming off the bench. Got to give guys minutes that deserve the minutes. Tristan Thompson, I mean, he's good at some things. I'm not the biggest fan of him. Last night against the Mavericks, he would get these offensive rebounds, which is awesome. But then he'd be in the paint and hold on to the ball and refuse to look around. Like he'd be getting double teamed in the paint, and then he'd go up for a hook shot. Granted, some of them went in, so I'll give him credit. But a lot of the times too, he was just leaving guys wide open. There was Tatum literally like licking his lips, like give me the ball, wide open for 3, and Tristan Thompson isn't even acknowledging him. It's like that, like that's frustrating. And it's like you have him over someone like Robert Williams who's actually impacting the game, not only on defense, but on offense as well. He got like 7 offensive rebounds against the Pelicans, and then those 3 assists. It's like he helps the team out in multiple ways, but yet we still play other guys ahead of him. And
the one thing I think I'm way higher on Tristan Thompson than you because I think he does add something that the Celtics don't have, which is that just like bruising offensive rebound or just rebounder in general. What I'm getting frustrated with is now Daniel Tice is the guy playing with Robert Williams because I get it. Daniel Tice stretches the floor more than any of those guys, but Daniel Tice thinks he's Mr. 3-point now. Like he's
1 for 15 the last.
He just hangs out. He hangs out around. I get that you want a big man that can stretch the floor, but you also want a big man that can like shrink the floor too, right? Like you want to, and he hasn't been doing that. So it's driving me nuts that like Robert Williams is looking at these 2 guys in front of him saying that, like at any given moment, I am better than both of them. And that's not even us like exaggerating anymore.
No.
Robert Williams comes into
No.
a game and has done better than both of them multiple times, and he's still yet to outpace either of them in minutes. And that's
No,
okay.
he plays but like the half of the time they play, and he puts up the same amount of numbers.
Exactly.
He's got better chemistry with Tatum and Brown as well.
I'm looking at his numbers right now, like the minutes played. He has not played a single game this season over 23 minutes. Why? What's the harm in giving him 25, maybe 30 minutes? You know, what's the reasoning for that?
They're saving him for the finals because Brad simulated the entire season out, and if you follow these simulations, they're in the finals.
Don't worry,
and that's
guys.
where he comes
We're the 6th seed right now, but in 2K, we're gonna beat everyone in the playoffs. Don't worry, we're fine right now. Yeah,
Oh my
awesome.
God.
Thanks, Brad.
Glad
to hear that.
And so Robert Williams not playing, like, it has to go on like Brad, right? Or like, who do you blame that on?
Who else is gonna? You can't blame that on the players. You can't blame that. You can't blame Rob for not giving himself minutes. You know what I mean? There's only one guy in charge
unless
of
Brad's
that.
like, hey, get in there, and he's like, not today.
You know what, Coach? 5
We
more
just
minutes.
don't see it. Yeah, we
Five
just
more
don't see
minutes. Yeah, no. You have to blame Brad. I mean, he's the one that's giving the minutes out, and he's not giving them to Rob. So